That's the sound of my brand new Tesla that I paid $50,000 for, driving itself, which was paid for by 2 months worth of profits from the whale crew and from CryptoFace, from learning from all the YouTube and market Cipher. I mean, 2 months right here. I made 60,000. I put 50 into the car. I'm going to take the 10 I have remaining. I'm going to turn that into another 60. Really, really happy with the results. Market Cipher, the whale crew, Flopping Groper too. Major shout out to Flopping Groper. Man, look at this. Driving itself. Look at this. 405 freeway, Los Angeles. Boom.
This could be it's definitely a top 3 testimonial since the beginning of the whale crew, which was last December. No matter what people say, or the few stalker trolls that stalk every video I do with someone else and, you know, try to talk smack, no matter what anyone says about my mask or anything, or if I'm hiding from something, for Pete's sake, people, it's crypto, anonymity, poker face, CryptoFace. It ain't that complicated. At the end of the day, results are all that matters. And in a industry where you have been sold and manipulated with ICOs and you name it, and things falling apart. I mean, here's another one. Here's one of our stock. Here's another testimonial. This guy's pretty much brand new. He's looks like he's talking to his friend Alexis, and he says, if you're in IGC, which is a stock, India Globalization Capital Inc., he says, IGC, heavy, it might be good to sell in the next few days. It's going to crash. His friend says, I'm not lol. He goes, mark my words, it will crash soon. The very next day, boop, right? And so, taking a look, we'll go to the daily here. Let's see what the daily says. I believe it was, so this is what I think he saw on the hourly, right? The little divergence, boom, of these 3, 1, 2, 3, boom, sayonara, and look what she does. She goes down. Just to make sure, I mean, dang, that was 30%, but even if you don't count the huge wick, boom, 22, so beautiful. Today with the pump to almost 13,000 confirms our prophecy that we laid out. Where was it here? 11K, 10 to 12K. We said 10 to basically 11 to 13K in 15 days. This was, I believe, 13 days ago on June 12th. Nailed that one. We nailed, where was the 10,500 call? Next stop, 10,500. This is where we showed the head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders with the baseline. How come I couldn't find this on Crow's stream, for Pete's sake? I couldn't find it. Baseline of the head and shoulders leaning up. Doesn't matter if it was a normal head and shoulders, upside down head and shoulders, chances are it was going up. This is the best kept secret in crypto. And it's not just coming from me, it's coming from everybody. On my streams, if you followed me, I have been talking about where I think Bitcoin is going to have its next correction, right? For those of you who aren't able to watch streams, let me spit it out for you and why. We are on the daily on Bitcoin. And we're looking at these blue waves. These blue waves are the major upward movements, right? So if we measure from the beginning of this wave to this wave, Bitcoin went up 50% in its price. And then it had, I believe this was a 10% correction. And then it went down 10%. 10%, I'll put C, 10% correction. Okay? On the next wave, this wave, Bitcoin went up 70% with a 20% correction. Measure it again just to double check and make sure. Measure it from the top to the bottom. 17%, about 20%. Okay, which leads us to this blue wave. And guess what? Each wave is smaller as FOMO kicks in. And now, you know, you hear everyone talking about 15,000 after they, you know, heard it from me, and 100,000, 500,000. Forget those videos. So if we're in third grade and you see if this is 50, this is 70, what's the next number? If this is 10, this is 20, what's the next number? Then I'm going to assume that this wave is probably going to be a little bit smaller than this one, right? This was the longest, second longest. This will be third longest. So maybe it's, you know, something like here, early mid-July. If we go up 90%, that basically brings us to $15,100, 15 grand. To which, if we follow this little numeral trend, we would have a 30% correction. That would bring us back down to 10,000 or somewhere within that area. Now, whether we keep going up from there, well, let's actually, okay, so 30% correction. So if we zoom out, let's say this blue wave ends, well, then what happens next? We hit 15K, let's say we dump down to 10K. Is that the end, or do we keep going? Well, let's go ahead and zoom out and look at some other stuff here. So now we go to the weekly. Let's get a bigger picture. Remove some of the clutter. Again, for those of you who remember, we have the green dot signal here. The last time this green dot fired off was in October 2015. And for the next year and 2 months after this green dot, we went straight up to 19,000, right? Had some big moves up, big moves down, but we went into a whole nother ballpark, whole nother realm, so to speak. And those green dots are on Cipher A. Cipher B, we had our green dot confirmation. This was the bottom of the market. Nailed it. So that's one positive indicator that leads me to the belief that we might actually not, this could be the real deal, right? Now, on the weekly, for a long time, our white light blue was cutting into the dark blue momentum algorithm, which means it is a potential to be a top. This was actually a top. You see how it curves? Doesn't mean it's the top, but a top. Now, she's opening up again. The white just peeked its head out. Super bullish, super bullish. But also look at our money flow. Money flow in the red, coming back up, but it's kind of at its 0 point. What's going to happen next? Well, if we want to know what is going to happen with the weekly, what do? We look at the 3-day or the 4-day to get a better idea. I don't understand why no one ever looks at 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. They just go from the daily to the weekly. Stop only doing what everyone else is doing and only seeing what everyone else is seeing. I'm gonna show you something else. God, there's so much stuff we're gonna take a look at. So juicy. This is juicy. So when we go to the 3-day, or let's even look at the 5-day too, we see the money flow's just starting to peak up. She's just potentially getting started. God, this is huge. This is huge. So there's that. Let's look at the 3-day. She's even more in here. Okay? So that's looking good. And then we're going to talk about Fibonacci's real quick because everyone's talking about these fib levels. And you know what's funny is people are doing two different. We'll actually go with both because everyone's doing two, right? And so here's the thing with Fibonacci levels and the retail traders. The Chinese, everyone knows that everyone's staring at the same thing. And so people are setting their trades, well, I'm going to hold and get out here. And then Bitcoin comes up and doesn't hit it. It comes close and then it comes back down. Now you're sitting holding that bag, right? Happens pretty much every time. So let's say we do come up instead of setting my market maybe 16,000, I'm going to be looking to exit in the low 15,000. Because while everyone else is sitting up here thinking it's going to go to this fib level, I know that's what everyone else is looking at. And I'd rather do what everyone else is not looking at. We could even, oh, whoops. So that's that. When we hit 15,000, I do believe there should be a correction. Could be wrong. Doesn't have to be 30%. Could be 20. Could be 40. Those are just my guesstimations. And so as far as my targets, and I'm always going to be cautious. There's going to be huge upwards and downwards movement, but overall we're going to be going up. Hit what if we see that 15,000, I will definitely be taking profit myself. Other than that, I think that's the juice. So we nailed our prophecy technically 2 days before it was called. As far as 15,000, I believe we're looking at early mid-July. But so far the prophecies have been coming true before my mark. So hey, it could be July 4th, 5th, 6th. So yeah, we are kicking ass. Market Cipher, Whale Crew, I love all of you guys. We are growing every single day. I love looking at the testimonials. The profit logs have been pouring in. I could be wearing 2 masks. None of these people care. We have over 750 members in the Whale Crew. We have maybe 300 or something people in Market Cipher. And here we go. Boom. 813 members in the Whale Crew. Yeah. We've only had to ban 7 or 8 people. So that's good. About 1 of every 100 turns out to be a harmful, terrible prune that we have to pluck. It's our way or the highway. I mean, guys, I put out what I'm doing pretty much every single day. If I need some sleeker, my whales are spoiled. Even when I'm not in a trade, I say what I'm thinking. Whale Crew and Market Cipher are 2 separate things. If you can only do one, as far as which one's better, I don't know. That's kind of like a debate. Different people say different things. I sometimes go back and forth. Market Cipher is there with you 24/7. And I believe it's anyone can do it. It is simple if you watch the videos, wait for a good blue wave divergence, The 5-minute has been absolutely kicking ass, right? So let's say you're on the 5-minute, boom, what happened right here? Okay, so we have a big wave, a smaller wave, white cuts into the blue, so you would have shorted somewhere in 12,000, high 600s. Price went down to 12,400 and something. It's that simple. If it's on the top, you'd be shorting. Off the bottom, you'd be longing. Right now, obviously, in my opinion, it's much safer to be longing because we are in a absolutely killer uptrend. If you're shorting, you're trying to get in, get the hell out. I've tried to hit a couple shorts. I've had a couple hit, had a couple miss. Market Cipher, doesn't know exactly how much the price is going to move, but it does know which way it's going to go. You could enter a short, it could go down 2 candles. You could enter a short, it could go down a bunch. But right now at the longs, when we're getting these longs on the 5-minute, look at this. We have a long blue wave right here. You could even do this one. Look at this one. Even this one would have worked. Plus you have a green dot on Cipher A giving you also bullish backup. Boom. Let's say you would have longed 11,355. Ooh, baby. You are good. Even this tiny little one right here. This is a more healthy wave right here, right? The money flow is green and healthy. There is life. If you longed 11,800, ooh. So I'm telling you, I don't care. about the haters or the trolls or what anyone thinks when it comes down to it. Show me another trade group or another YouTuber that is doing what we are doing that has their very own Teslamonial.